Hello folks, I have been using the Galaxy S22 Ultra for about 3 months, which means I can tell you about it from a practical point of view. So today we will focus on the following aspects. Of course, the camera, especially about upgraded telephoto sensors and night video. Next, battery life. I've done some tests and I'm ready to share the results. And of course, games. The phone got an update that allows you to disable the game optimization service. So let's find out if this helped improve the gaming experience. We will also talk about other interesting things that I noticed, so let's get started. Well, first of all, smartphone doesn't seem boring even after a few months of everyday usage. The 6.8-inch display is awesome, smoothness is stable, the outdoor visibility is just amazing. The S22 Ultra has an unbelievable peak brightness, 1750 nits. The colors are bright, the blacks are as deep as possible as it should be with an AMOLED display. Everything is super nice. The screen is slightly curved, so it adds aesthetic appearance. No other screen is as much fun as this one. Period. Now let's talk about cameras. It has to be said that this new camera design on the back looks good but gets messy very quickly. It picks up dust and fingerprints easily, so if you are taking photos, be sure to wipe it down with a soft cloth or your photos may be messed up and fuzzy. As for the quality, it is incredible. I just love how the main sensor blurs the background. I mean in the usual non-portrait mode. You get photos with many details, good color and contrast. The camera is very easy to use. By default, we have the pixel binning mode, which gives us a 12 megapixels photo as an output. There is an option not to merge pixels, but to take pictures in 108 megapixel mode. There is also an option to turn on improved detailing, which I recommend doing. As I understand, the camera takes several pictures and then builds one super detailed photo out of them. Basically, the 108 megapixel mode will be useful if you want to crop it later. Night photos are very impressive. It feels like the software is working well, although it depends on how and what you shoot. When you have a good light sources, especially with reflections or multiple lights that add character and drama to a shot, the Galaxy S22 Ultra does a great job. However, the darker it gets, the less sense in the picture. Especially if you try to zoom in to see the details, you will see noise and pixel bleeding. Telephoto lenses. There are many improvements here, most of which are due to the software. Whether it's a 3x or 10x zoom, any of these lenses will give you a decent shot in good light. In fact, you can see improvements compared to the S21 Ultra at any scaling, especially the 30x hybrid zoom, but 100x zoom is still terrible. You may notice that there is no macro mode among the camera modes, but the fact is that it turns on automatically when you bring the smartphone close to the subject. You just need to turn on improved focus. These are these two circles in the corner. In addition, the camera has a dedicated Pro mode, which allows you to manually set ISO, shutter speed and temperature. You can set the option to save these pictures in RAW format, but Samsung also has another magical app called Expert RAW, which offers a 16-bit RAW photos. This application is in the Galaxy Store and is not pre-installed on the device. Anyway, the interface looks the same and you can still use all 4 lenses. Moving to the video, the situation is ambiguous. Unfortunately, I cannot say that we get a good result in Full HD mode, and this is the same mode where night video is automatically activated. For reference, auto frame rate option is active, but both during the day and at night the result is not impressive. Yes, it makes the video brighter, the light source is more saturated, but the noise spoils everything. As a result, night video is not perceived as something interesting. However, I like the Ultra HD 60 FPS mode. Here we get a good colors, accurate autofocus, confident stabilization. Also, beautiful bokeh and lots of details. You can definitely shoot cool videos with this mode. Now, what about battery life? The phone comes with a powerful 5000 mAh battery. Battery life is pretty good, easily lasting for a full day even with heavy use. There hasn't been a day that I've completely drained the battery. My usage includes mainly Telegram, YouTube, notes, taking photos and videos, and sometimes games. I made the following measurements. We have a video from YouTube via Wi-Fi at maximum screen brightness and the first 50% was discharged for 6.5 hours. After that, from 46 to 12%, the smartphone was discharged for 4.5 hours. As a result, we can conclude that 100% charge is enough for about 12.5 hours of video playback over Wi-Fi at maximum screen brightness. I also measured the battery consumption in Genshin Impact with game optimization services turned off. It took me about 18 to 20% per hour of play. In general, it's not so bad, given that in this mode the smartphone doesn't save battery at all, which I'll talk about a little later. Speaking of charging, the smartphone can support 45 watts fast charging, but I don't have such a charger. To be honest, 25 watts charging is enough. Of course, there is also wireless charging, which is very convenient. Also, there is reverse wireless charging that you can use to charge other devices, including your wearables. I rarely use these, but it's a pretty neat feature that can sometimes be useful. In terms of performance and gaming, the phone stays cool almost all the time, except for two situations: when you play heavy games for a long time or when you shoot videos for a long time. The phone comes with a game optimization service that limits gaming performance to keep temperatures down. Samsung released an update that allows you to turn off this optimization recently, and to be honest, I didn't see the picture that I would like to see. Let's take Genshin Impact. It feels like it got better. Yes, there are fewer freezes and frame drops, but in general the gameplay is still not perfect. There are still micro-stuttering. I wouldn't say that it makes it impossible to play with pleasure. It is quite possible, but you know, it certainly gives reasons for nitpicking. With GOS turned on, by the way, my FPS is almost the same, but there are noticeably more freezes and lags in heavy scenes. More detailed tests on the internet also show a slight difference in FPS, but a much more noticeable difference in power consumption. And looking at these graphs, it seems that Game Booster is not so bad. It really stabilizes this system. I would say Samsung needs to work better on the cooling system, because it slows down the potential of the chip. For the rest of the games, by the way, I had no problems. Now, as you know, the smartphone has a built-in S Pen slot, which is stored at the bottom of the device. All the familiar S Pen features are here, like taking quick notes on the lock screen. Just take out the S Pen and the screen will immediately be ready for your notes, so you don't need to unlock the smartphone. Writing or drawing on this device is a real pleasure thanks to the ultra-low latency. It's very similar to writing on paper, but 100 times smoother, and you can always erase your writing. Of course, the S Pen is not for everyone. Many of you may try it on the first day and forget, but if you are the kind of person who often takes quick notes, works with electronic documents, who likes to draw, or even just surfing the phone with a pen, then you will really appreciate that it's always there when you need it. Also, I would like to say about the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. Samsung is one of the few, or possibly the only, manufacturer currently using an ultrasonic in-screen fingerprint sensor on its flagships. Almost everyone else uses optical fingerprint sensors, and with the Galaxy S22 series, we seem to have reached the perfect level of fingerprint recognition. The Galaxy S22 recognizes your fingerprint almost instantly when you put your finger on the screen, and its accuracy is very high. It is especially nice that the screen doesn't need to be turned on. You blindly put your finger on the scanner area and voila! Samsung will support this device for 5 years with 4 major operating system updates. This means the S22 Ultra will get Android 13, 14, 15 and 16 in the future. It is super cool and definitely adds value to Samsung's flagship. And to sum it up, Samsung has taken the best of the Note line and combined it with the S series to finally have the perfect all-in-one smartphone. This is undoubtedly the best phone that Samsung has ever made. At the same time, you need to understand that the smartphone has areas that it still needs to work on. First, the cooling system that slows down the chip. Secondly, the night video is actually not so impressive. By the way, it is possible that with further updates it will become better. But for now, I don't really like it. This smartphone has a lot of advantages. Photos are excellent on any lens. The phone feels like an absolutely premium product in hand, and it will be supported for many years. Finally, it has a wonderful battery life. This is a smartphone for every day and it will not let you down. Of course, you may like the camera of other phone more. Maybe somewhere you will find a phone with a 17,000 mAh battery. Yes, in some areas you can find slightly better options, but if you take the overall package, say the average level of all smartphone functions, functions plus such unique ones as the S Pen, the S22 Ultra is definitely the best smartphone on the market. But guys, let me know in the comment section below your thoughts. Also, share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching, subscribe to the channel, and good luck.